Saros 10R Robot Vacuum and Mop. Just looking at this thing in person, you can tell it means business. From the outside, the Saros 10R looks like a futuristic disc, finished in a sleek, glossy black. It's slim, sitting just a little over 3 inches high. The top is smooth, without any clunky sensor towers. The whole thing feels sturdy, and I immediately thought, okay, this is no flimsy gadget. It looks like it could actually help with the messes I deal with daily. From my experience, robot vacuums usually have at least a few quirks, getting stuck under furniture or hair tangling on the brush. So honestly, I was a bit skeptical before I started using the Saros 10R. Could something this thin and high-tech really handle my pet hair, the endless sand my shoes track inside, or the dried stains from spills in my kitchen? That was my main question when I took it out of the box and got started. I want to give you a quick review of the key features that matter most if you're weighing whether this robot might suit your home. The Saros 10R's main feature is its ultra-thin design. It's only 3.114 inches thick, so from my experience, it cruised right under most of my furniture, beds, sofas, and low cabinets, where dust bunnies love to hide. Most robot vacuums I've tried either bump into the edges and turn away, or just get stuck and beep for help. The Saros 10R surprised me. It reached places I thought only a broom could access. The robot is powered by the Starsight Autonomous System 2.0, which sounds super fancy, but simply put, it means it's using an advanced set of sensors and cameras to map out your rooms and avoid obstacles. What I really love about it is that it doesn't just guess where things are. It actually detects and recognizes things like cables, shoes, pets, and even a sock left on the floor. It navigates around these objects way better than any basic robot vacuum and almost never gets tangled with cords, which is the single biggest headache for me. If you're new to robot vacuums, you might wonder what brush tangling is. Some older vacuums collect human or pet hair that wraps around the roller, forcing you to cut or untangle it by hand. The Saros 10R uses what's called a duo-divide main brush and a special FlexiArm Riser side brush, both designed not to get jammed with hair. And from my experience testing it with my long hair and my cat's fur, it did way better than I expected. After cleaning, I checked the rollers, and there was hardly any hair stuck there. Maintenance, for now, has pretty much just meant emptying the dustbin bag from the dock and washing the filter every now and then. Another feature that stood out for me is the cleaning performance. I've used both cheap and expensive robot vacuums before, and the Saros 10R absolutely holds its own, even beating some big-name competitors. It picks up everything from sand to dry crumbs and does surprisingly well even on carpets, which are usually a weak point for most slim vacuums. I tested it on both bare hardwood floors and a medium pile carpet. On hardwood, it picked up all the sand and dust. On the carpet, it did miss a few grains that were ground in, but trust me, compared to what I've seen from other robots, that's impressive. If you have pets, you'll like how the side brush extends to clean right up to corners and baseboards. Most robot vacuums, especially the round ones, always leave behind a line of dust in the corners and along edges. The Saros 10R gets much closer, thanks to its FlexiArm tech, which literally pushes its brush out to reach spots that are usually left untouched. Corner cleaning with this robot, in my opinion, is miles ahead of most other bots. The only area where it still can't get perfect is in exactly square corners. It can leave a tiny bit of dirt that you'll probably have to tackle by hand every so often. Now about mopping. I was actually impressed here too. This robot doesn't just drag a wet pad around like some, it uses dual spinning mop pads and hot water for washing, which, from my experience, makes a noticeable difference when you're cleaning up dried stains like spilled soy sauce. When the robot noticed a mess while mopping, it auto-returned to the base station to rinse off the pads and went back to finish cleaning. Not only did the stain nearly disappear, there wasn't much moisture left on the floor after mopping, which helps if you hate waiting for your floors to dry. Something that's not obvious at first, but is actually really convenient, is the multifunctional docking station. In my daily routine, having a dock that empties the robot's bin, washes its mop pads with hot water, dries them with hot air, and refills the tank meant I barely needed to touch the robot. The dirty water tank is easy to remove and clean. It's perfect for people who do not enjoy dealing with dust and dirty water. If you deal with pet hair or lots of small debris like kibble, it really helps keep your hands clean too. There's built-in support for voice assistants, Alexa, Google Home, Siri, and even Roborock's Hello Rocky, so starting a cleaning job is just a voice command away. I played around with this using both my phone and a quick voice prompt. The Robots app is super easy to set up and use. You can create a cleaning schedule or command it to clean just one specific room or spot. The map feature lets you see where your robot cleaned and set no-go zones if, like me, you have areas where shoes or toys tend to gather. One cool thing for pet owners to mention, there's an RGB camera built in, so I could actually check in on my cats while the robot was running. I tried the pet search and two-way calling for a laugh, and it worked way better than expected. The app lets you take quick photos if your cat is being extra cute, apparently. You can turn these features off for privacy. A quick heads up about a couple of concerns I noticed. The Smart Plan, AI, mode tries to optimize cleaning speed and efficiency, but doesn't always use the strongest suction or do enough passes on the first try. Sometimes, after a deep mess, I had to command a second cleaning. Battery life is decent. Enough to clean most apartments and moderate-sized homes in one charge, but larger homes might need to run 2 sessions if you routinely deep clean everything. A sticking point is the price. The Saros 10R costs quite a bit more than most basic robot vacuums and even some other high-end options. From my experience, you absolutely get advanced features and reliability, but if budget is your top concern, this is something to consider. You get what you pay for here. Lots of automation, strong cleaning, and fewer headaches, but it's a premium investment. One last thing I want to touch on is the Adapt-to-Lift chassis. This fancy label means the robot can lift its body and wheels to climb over obstacles up to 4 centimeters high. So, for me, that meant it got over my thick living room rug and door thresholds without getting stuck. This automatic mop lift also raises the mop pad out of the way when vacuuming carpet, so you don't end up with a wet rug, which can happen with cheaper robots. In conclusion, from my experience using the Saros 10R Robot Vacuum and Mop, it combines powerful suction, next-level navigation and mapping, and true hands-off dock cleaning in the slimmest design I've tried for a high-end robot vacuum so far. If you want a robot that can actually get under your furniture, avoid getting tangled up in cords, mop your floors almost as well as you do by hand, and stay out of your way, I'd recommend this for homes with pets, busy schedules, or anyone sick of constantly cleaning up after kids. It's perfect for anyone who wants a reliable, easy-to-use robot and doesn't mind paying a bit extra for peace of mind and free time. That wraps up my quick review. I will post full information about the Saros 10R Robot Vacuum and Mop in the comments section. See you in the following videos.